everybody to No Man's Land. We are going to be a show of funny women from all over the country. I want you to put your hands together and make everybody feel completely welcome. Let's do it. Clap, everybody. I see you, Casey McNeil. I see you. Clap. All right, there you go. There you go. My name is Felicia Michaels, and I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. And here's like a weird little fact about me. I was actually born in America's first escape room. It's a weird fact, right? Yeah, and it's still actually in operation. Even during the pandemic, it was never closed down. It's called the state of Kansas, you know. Yes, there we go. The first joke of the show. Anyway, so Kansas is part of the Bible Belt, obviously, and I don't know if you people knew that, but last November, a big meteor, a shooting star, went over the entire Bible Belt, signaling to Christians everywhere the second coming of a rigged election. You know? Casey is now my favorite person. I have learned certain things recently. I learned about purity balls. Do you guys know about yes. Purity balls? Woo! Yeah, I know purity balls. Someone told me are these events where it's a father and daughter events where fathers and daughters get together and they have a lovely dinner, and then they go to a dance, and then they swear to each other to abstain from having sex, right? Purity ball. I thought a purity ball was when you fuck someone using hand sanitizer instead of lube. But all right, they can't all be winners. Anyway, so things have gone askew, crazy in my household since the pandemic. I found my son's. Sorry about that. I found my son's weed stash, y'all. I found my son's stash, and I was going through the weed stash, and then in the weed stash there was this joint I pulled out. It had like pink sparkles on it, and it was rolled in keef, and I was like, oh fuck, he stole this from my weed stash. You know? I'll take that. All right, okay. But so I had a rule before the pandemic. If I found any kind of like a weed paraphernalia, I confiscate it. Like I found a grinder once, you know, and I found papers once, and then I found a little torch. I found a torch, right? And so I hang around comedians that smoke a lot of weed, so I know that he's using that torch to smoke dabs, right? The wax concentrate, right? So I lose my shit because I'm a mom, AKA the house bitch, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is this, right? And then it's all weird, and he's like, you're scaring me. And I was like, that is my intention. Right? Then he starts freaking out even more, and he's like, oh, I'm trying to learn how to make creme brulee. So I stole that torch, and now I know how to make creme brulee. Dabs flavored creme brulee. Right. You guys, it's been a fucking nightmare with my sons here, and they say the stupidest shit all the time. This is, you know what they say now? This is the thing they say now. Yeah, I fucks with that. They say that, you guys. How stupid is that? I raised those douchebags, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, I fucks with that. I mean, come on. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you just asked me this morning to buy you dinosaur egg oatmeal. I don't think you fucking much. Anyway, you guys are an amazing Zoom audience. I want you guys to put your hands together for yourselves, not just the comedians, but the audience members. Let's do it. Because now I am going to introduce my co-host, someone that I've known for the longest time, and at one time we were the most beautiful women in comedy. You know know how
Yeah,
it's
but who
worked
got
out.
the Playboy spread?
I don't know, but who had the better career? You did, Jan.
I know.
You've seen her on
It's
Seinfeld.
even-
You've seen her on fucking everything. I want you to throw your hands together for one of the most talented women in comedy, Miss Jann Karam, everybody.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. How about a hand for Felicia Michaels? Always funny, smart, bright, brilliant, great joke writer. Felicia, lots of stage presence. That's what you need, right? Keep her going for Felicia. And
Did you
Our
just
women.
call me a cunt? Did you just call me a cunt?
that was next. Damn it. Okay. Let's see. I 2 teeth missing in the back. That's fine. That's what happened during COVID. During COVID, well, I decided I was gonna get my, I'm getting my shit together because I was gonna get my shit together last year, but I blew it off. But definitely by June, I think I should have my shit together. I was reading that book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, the Marie Kondo book. So whatever doesn't give you joy, get rid of it. So I got rid of all my bills. And now I'm going to jail with Trump. I think that instead of abortion, like speaking of abortion, it's a good time for an abortion. Instead of calling it a abortion, like people don't like that word. It's kind of a caustic word. You should just say, instead of abortion, call it declutter. I'm decluttering my uterus. It's a mess in here. I don't really want this. I don't have room for it. And then all the hoarders, they could protest outside the decluttering clinic. Keep the clutter. My sister, she's a clutter keeper. She's a hoarder. She has lots of kids and grandkids, and she was yelling at her little grandkid. I was back in Arizona, where I'm from, a small mining town in Arizona called Superior. Nothing superior about it. 5,000 people, mostly Hispanic. Although when I was growing up, they were Mexican. But I'm like not sure if that's racist, but everybody goes, no, it's so funny. But I'm Syrian and Lebanese, and so my mom's Syrian, my dad is Lebanese, so I hate myself. When I was growing up, nobody ever heard of Syrian and Lebanese. They're like, you're what? A serious lesbian? Oh, and by the way, my mom called the other day. She wants us all to move back to the Middle East, for a while, just to get away from all the gun violence. We want some peace. Find peace in the Middle East. That's the new saying. Apparently, it's tranquil over there. And let's see. Oh, I know what I was going to say about that. And then what was I saying? Oh, yeah. That, they should make, so it doesn't matter. Like there's Me Too and then Cardi B and everyone's just caught in the middle. Like, and there's all these oversexed men, but they're not supposed to make a move or whatever. So they should just make prostitution legal. Because for me personally, I'm sick of being raped. I don't know about you, but I'm just so tired of it. It's just really annoying. Somebody's always rubbing up against you. Like, not anymore though, right, Felicia? Nobody's rubbing. No more dry humping.
You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you brought it up and brought my name into it. But
yeah,
the first thing I'm gonna do when I'm all vaccinated up is I'm gonna go to the mall and get like a massage right at the mall, and I'm not even gonna complain when he like grazes up against my head with his crotch.
That's a good one. No, I brought you in. So so they should instead of prostitution, this is good for talk show practice. As a panelist. No, but instead of they should legalize prostitution, but it's like, oh, it's fine if you have a lot of money, but then for people that don't have money, they should put it on the health care plan. Add it to the EBT card. You go to John's and it's like, okay, yeah, I'll have a gallon of milk and the skank. Skank's funny. That's a concept there. So gun violence. So I watch the news all the time, and I'm 24/7 watching the news. MSNBC, CNN, PBS, Democracy Now, whatever podcasts. Because I'm trying to memorize my opinions. And it's not easy. I don't know what I think. But people say, like, if you want something, you have to visualize. Have you heard that? Like, if you want a bit, like Oprah and Tupac Chopra, they say, like, if you want a big old house, a nice car, a loving relationship, whatever it is that you want, you have to visualize it first. Well, that's a bunch of crap, that visualize stuff, don't you think? I mean, I don't visualize what I don't want, and I have that. And plenty of it. Why, Rich? Why did it get that kind of a laugh? Was that the Rich? Oh, that's not even Rich. That's Casey. Is that? Don't be doing those freaking, Zoom laughs are a lot different than real comedy laughs. So ladies, girls, gals, comedians, keep that in mind as you're doing your show. You're doing your set. Just have fun, because what else is there, right? So why the else are we here? Not except to have fun. So that's my set. Thank you very much for now. I forgot. Thank you. Okay. How many people? Okay, so and how about a hand for Felicia? I didn't say that, or did? Yes, I did. So now, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. Oh, it's a pleasure to bring to the Zoom page, the Zoom screen. She released an album in 2020. I'm Not a Llama, and she's a regular host. Is it 2020? Not 2020. 2020. Yeah.
I don't know.
When is that? 2020. Is that the year it is? I'm like my mom.
What is time? I don't know.
2020 sounds better. I'm Not a Llama, and she's a regular host on the Moth Story Slams, and she's a co-host on the digital series on PBS called Parental Logic. Please, a nice warm welcome for Bethany Van Delft. Bethany Van Delft.
Keep it going for Jann and Felicia. You're going to get so much applause. Like, every single comedian on this lineup is going to be like, keep it going for Jann and Felicia.
Oh, yay.
Keeping this thing going. Jann, what is time anyway? What is 2020? What is, I don't know. I don't know what time is anymore. I'm doing okay, though. I'm doing okay. This was, it was my first pandemic. Like, I don't know else was living. I'm vaccinated. I feel so weird. I mean, are we supposed to say it or not say it? Sometimes I feel like it's a flex. Like, people are like, yo, I'm vaccinated. But then other people are like, tell people so other people will get vaccinated. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. But I'm vaccinated. And I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, because for the last 13 months, I have been isolated in my house with 3 children. And that's like a lot of children. And with my 4-year-old son, my 9-year-old daughter, and my husband, it's like a fucking daycare, basically. I'm really tired today. I'm sorry. I'm on the East Coast, so it's like 11:30. I'm tired because last night I was trying to get to bed early, and I walked past the kid's bedroom, right? And I hear the weirdest sound coming from the bedroom. It's like, it sounded like a really long bong hit, right? And I wasn't worried, I was just nostalgic. So I went in the room to see like what was going on. And it was my son who was having like allergies. He was a little bit congested, so I put him on my lap and I rubbed his back and put him back to sleep. And at some point in the night, he just started coughing and coughing and coughing. So I was up all night waiting for him to be like, yo, I'm gonna be so high. And pass me the bong, but I know. I know that's silly. He's 4. He doesn't share, so that's okay. I have my own weed. I smoke weed. I mean, we're here, right? A Gen Zer, what do we call them? A Gen Zer, a child. I'm sorry if they're Gen Z on the show. I love you and thank you. A Gen Zer was like, oh my God, you still smoke weed at your age? And I was like, how do you think I made it? Duh. I smoke weed. I have to smoke weed though. Like, I'm not trying to be cool or hip or anything. I'm a Virgo. So, I don't know if you know astrology, but Virgos have a lot of anxiety. Also, I don't believe in that stuff because Virgos only believe in science. So the weed takes the edge off the cognitive dissonance. I'm in Boston and weed's legal here, okay? But people are still like super judgy about moms smoking weed, right? Like a mom could be at morning drop off, like drop her 4-year-old off at the door and be like, it's 9 o'clock, rose all day. And all the other moms are like, oh, y'all's clean, self-care, get your life. But if it's 4:20 and I shout, smoke them if you got them, they're like, you shouldn't have children. And I don't think that's really fair. You know what I mean? Like, I have a friend who goes to pour herself a glass of wine and her kids are like, mommy's drinking mommy juice, and they take off. That doesn't happen at my house. I don't smoke weed in front of my kids, you know? Like, you will never, ever, ever hear my kids be like, ugh, there's mommy breathing her mommy salad again. The time she does, she just wants to collage and watch cartoons. I'll just be like, hey, mommy's high again. It's fine. I mean, it's what works for me. You know what I mean? I've tried other things. I've tried so many other things for anxiety. I Googled things to do for anxiety. I feel like the first thing that should pop up is stop Googling. Like that is definitely first. Goat yoga popped up. Goat yoga. Okay. Goat yoga. Fuck. It's yoga with goats. That's it. It's not yoga based on scientific evidence that goats chill harder than people. It's not greatest of all time yoga. Not. The one dude, he's like Tom Brady. It's not even yoga taught to you by a chill ass goat. I mean, that's why I clicked on it, to be honest. It's just people doing yoga with goats. And let's get this straight. The goats aren't doing yoga with you. The goats, they're not helping you deepen your savasana or whatever. I don't know any of the poses. They all sound like or chaturanga, right? So the goats are not there trying to help you deepen your or chaturanga. They're just goats being goats. That's it. They're just goats peeing on people in lotus position, not fucking doing yoga. That feels so stupid to me. I'm sorry if you do goat yoga. I'm sorry. All these opinions here today are mine, not the 420 festival. It's fucking stupid. Come on, it's stupid. Come on. There's like so much real shit going on in the world. And people are like, oh my God, you're still trying to get clean water? I'm doing yoga with goats. See you at the march. Don't get mad. Just don't do fucking. How long was that? That felt like an hour. All right. I downloaded a mindfulness app. Like I really have tried everything, okay? I downloaded this mindfulness app. I start the first lesson, meditation, I don't know. Right away, okay? Like her name is like, I don't know. Her name is like McKenna for sure. It's definitely like something like McKenna. And you could tell she's smiling. I'm already feeling alienated. And then she starts force whispering this just hodgepodge list of things to be thankful for. She's like, give gratitude for that you're safe. And like, it depends.
Yeah.
Or electricity. You don't even have to think about it. From the day you were born, it was already there. I'm serious. This is an app, okay? This is real. Give thanks for the incredible food supply available from all over the world. I'm like, oh my God, are we giving thanks for Whole Foods? Like, what is happening? Then she says, give thanks for small pleasures in life, long walks, morning runs, free speech. And like, I didn't get that category at all. Like, what is it? Things that are in rom-coms, things that can be dangerous for women and BIPOC. Like, what's the category? And I deleted it. And I wasn't mad about it, right? Like this app just isn't for me. I can tell it's not for me. This app is for people that are like doing pretty okay. They just need a "you got this, queen" and an edible. And that's like totally fine. That's not what I was looking for, not for me. Like, and the truth is like, if I made an app, a mindfulness app, it wouldn't be for everyone either, you know? It's like I can't be mad at somebody making their own app. Like if I had a mindfulness app, it would be like, if you get a bad, shitty haircut today and you're really pissed about it, think of a good friend who died. If he didn't die, he'd be really pissed about your haircut too. But he did. Be happy you can have a bad, shitty haircut. Namaste.
All right, give it up for Bethany, everybody.
Oh,
Bethany. Right on. Excellent.
Bethany, yay.
Excellent.
Funny.
But your kids they're young. They don't play video games, right, Bethany?
They do-ish. They are young. They, you know, we try. They play video games and watch TV all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like when you're walking around the house and all of a sudden it's like, bro, the window. You're like, fuck, you know. Okay. All right, we're gonna keep this cavalcade of funny going along. I want you to put your hands together for a lady who hails from Chicago. She has a show that she hosts called Jester's Courtyard. Hope I got that correct. Please give it up for the wonderful Laura Hugg, everybody. Laura, yay.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here at this 420 festival. I got to tell you right now, man, I'm straight edge. I'm Elson. I'm a narc. So if this were a jam band, I would be one of the wharf rats. So look for the red balloon. So there might be two people that know what actually probably a lot of people on here know what I could sign your court cards if you group. It's good to be here, you know. I will say that I have been fortunate enough, like some of us have been fortunate enough to do some comedy in person. And I went to an open mic and there was in the parking lot, speaking of jam bands, there were like 15 young half-washed guys waiting to go up at the mic. They've been there, you know, for 36 hours to sign up for 4 minutes. It's like the pandemic never happened. the nice thing about it is that I'm not, shocked, like performing live, on Zoom. I'm never prepared for when my video gets pinned, because my face is so big and white and round that wolves bay at it. I don't have kids, so I have comics, right? And so I started comedy. I started stand up in middle age. So I've watched comics. I've watched my peers in comedy go through puberty while they've watched me go through menopause. It's nice to be able to talk to someone and go, wow, the booker for that show really filled out. Or to turn to someone on a showcase and say, your mustache is coming in. And they're like, yeah, yours too. I know that, I don't know. I'm handling aging okay. I know that a common thing that women feel as they get older is they feel invisible in society, that because we're not, sexually desirable anymore. And we can feel invisible because we're not desired. I got to tell you, I know what that's like. I really miss walking down the street and having someone lean their head out of the car and go, hey, bitch, want to suck my dick? I miss that. Now they just lean their head out of the window and go, hey, bitch, do you know where Trader Joe's is? And, the answer would have been yes both times for me, but that's just, the earlier one was because I had such low self-esteem. So, what else? I've been, doing so much comedy on Zoom though, when I'm not, has helped me keep my rooms clean, my apartment clean, because people can see in if I don't use a virtual background. And I have hoarder tendencies. And so I have to try to keep myself motivated to clean. And how I do this, I don't watch hoarders, I watch true crime shows. Whenever I watch one of those and they go into a victim's house and the bodies, and it's messy, I'm more bothered by the mess than I am that somebody has walked. And I just know I don't want that to be me. If I were to be murdered, I don't want the detectives to come into my house and there's my body laying there and they're like, well, we don't know who killed her, but the real mystery is, what was she going to do with all these tins of buttons? I don't see a sewing machine. I don't see any button art on the walls. Nothing, So yeah, I don't mind being murdered, but I do not want to look like a fool, So I blew snot out of my nose right there on the punchline. Hello, live audience to blow a book on. That's always a special thing. Can't wait to get back. One of the things that's helped me keep my sanity during the pandemic is, and I managed to keep weight off. So that was, good. That's been good. Cause I like to eat, but I now do with fitness what in my youth I did with crystal meth. The weight loss results are a lot slower with fitness, but there's less chance of me digging out a homemade basement in my second floor apartment. So worth it. And so do my neighbors downstairs. Shout out to Ben and Tina. Exercising later in life is kind of strange because I know, I feel a burn. I just don't know if I'm building something or breaking it. So when I did crystal meth, but I do all kinds of stuff now. I do yoga, I'll do aerobics, and sometimes I'll just keep it simple and do like a jailhouse workout, like a small space. I'll go into a small space in my house and just do sit-ups, jumping jacks, push-ups, and then I'll shank my roommates. So I was fortunate enough to get the vaccine a little earlier. I'm an essential worker, despite what my boss says. And But you know, when I went to the hospital and to get where I got the vaccine at the hospital here in Chicago, I was with my group, and you know, I don't get high anymore, and that's good. But like, I will say that when they came to me and they had this syringe, you know, with the vaccine in it, I did have this fleeting thought, like, wonder if they'd let me inject that myself, you know. Old time sake, you know. I still got the touch. But I didn't ask them because they seem like a bunch of squares. So thanks very much, No Man's Land. Thank you.
Yay! That was Laura Hugg with No Man's Land, the perfect set. Very funny, Laura. Are you really? Did you stay sober during?
Yeah, I've been sober
during COVID.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very, you know, yes, I thrive.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great. My brother-in-law, he's sober 10 years. He just celebrated his 10 year. Yeah. And I, on the other hand, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. You know, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. And nobody ever claps for me. So everybody else gets a chip and a cake and a ride to the airport. I need a ride to the airport. They're like, can't you take the flyaway? I mean, you could walk. You have the wheel travel bag. You could just take yourself. My brother-in-law, like 6:30 in the morning, 25 people show up at his door. Oh, Jerry might relapse. He needs a ride to the airport. Let's go. He has so much support. But my indulgence is having too much ice cream, and then I reproach myself. So congratulations. I know it's hard. I know it's very difficult. So congratulations. Okay, let's keep the show going with and this is a Rampantly Las Vegas 420, the No Man's Land show, hosted by Felicia Michaels and Jann Karam. Yay. So I have to keep putting on and off my glasses. So now everybody keep up that energy. And please welcome, she's a co-host of Hot Mistakes and the Leak podcast. It's Rachel Fogletto. Rachel Fogletto. Let her hear it.
Hey, yeah, real quick before I start, is Bethany going to finish her set, or like, because I can wait. It just came up in the thing, and I know she was supposed to do more time, and I just wanted to make sure before.
Yeah, so I think there was confusion with the host because Bethany asked how much time she had done, and I responded and said you've done 7, and her set was meant to be 15. But we've kind of talked about it in the chat, and
it's all
good.
Yeah, okay, cool. It's all good. Rachel.
If you want to finish it, it's cool. I don't have to. Yeah. I just want to throw that out there.
Be assertive. Take your time.
You.
Rachel.
I'm waiting to.
It's hard too because we're in Zoom and you can't, and you're just like, I don't know. They saw this. Okay, cool.
I'm so good, and I'm waiting for you. And watch this. I'm gone.
All right, cool. All right, yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah. So, wow, jokes. Yeah, glad we're getting to the point where we're seeing that light at the end of the tunnel with pandemic. I'm personally glad that we're no longer saying like bad sayings. Like in the beginning, a lot of times people would be like, "It's gonna get worse before it gets better," which I feel like that's really trite. You know, like that's like saying it's gonna get warm before it gets colder, you know, or I have to orgasm before I can cry. Repetitive. No one needs to, hear it twice. I also got vaccinated. I'm not telling you how I got it. That was like a thing for a while, right? Like people were mad that at least I don't know where it was in other areas, but in Philly, like smokers and people who are overweight could be in like the front lines for the vaccine, and people got mad. They were like, that's like getting rewarded for bad behavior. And I don't know how I feel about that. Cause like, okay, like texting someone 20 times with no response until they're bored enough to fuck you again. that's getting rewarded for bad behavior, you know? Like staging a coup and not going to jail is getting rewarded for bad behavior. Okay, like I just think, why bring the vaccine into this? You know, I do get some people are like, well, how come there's a vaccine so fast for COVID, but there's not like a cure for this or a vaccine for that? And I do get that a little bit because I feel that way about the fact that we haven't figured out serial killers yet. Like, don't get me wrong, like I think it's great there's like medication for ADHD because I have it and I'm selfish. But like I can take pills every day to be less annoying and impulsive, but men have been mysteriously disassembling bitches for centuries. You know, we're just like, we don't know. There's like not enough research. We just don't understand it. I guess the Netflix documentary just isn't as, you know, enticing. Like it would just be someone like me staring at a computer screen, you know, like how many tabs will she leave open? ADD slips. I was having trouble sleeping for a while. Like I told my roommate, you know, I have to try to get to bed earlier. And he's like, yeah, because I woke up in the middle of the night and, you know, I could hear you in your room at like 3 a.m. practicing Duolingo. And I was like, I was watching 90 Day Fiance. And I just get excited when I understand any Spanish word and I yell it back at the screen. It's like Rosetta Stone for slackers, basically. I also got a weighted blanket for anxiety, which seems like the opposite thing that you should do. Cause like I have claustrophobia and the first week I had it, I thought I was going to suffocate to death. I actually Googled, is it safe to get really drunk and pass out with my weighted blanket? And you know how like when you Google something, it finishes the sentence because of all the other people who have typed in the sentence you did? Nobody else has searched this. I'm the first person that was concerned about buying a weighted blanket. You know, like nobody, you know, there's still people that don't want to wear masks, you know, even though we got to wait for the herd immunity. They don't want to wear them. I think we've been marketing them wrong. You know, like I think we need to market them like condoms, you know, like feels like it's not even there, you know, because like it's the new kink now, right? Like for a while, whenever I saw a mouth unexpectedly, I'd be like, oh, look at that mouth, like that's a nice mouth, like it's shaping our psyche. I got really mad at anti-maskers, but for a petty reason, which is that I just can't plain old bitch about wearing a mask like a regular person. You know, like I got home and I was like, oh, I can't wait to take off this mask. I hate this mask. And I'm getting like side eye from people. And I'm like, it's not a political statement. Like nobody likes like, come on, like, because like I have to pretend to like wearing a mask because dipshits won't wear them in Walmart. Like that's where we are now. Like, what about my freedom to complain about a minor inconvenience like a goddamn American? Like they took that away from me. I'll leave you on this. I had a really like thoughtful Uber driver recently. You know, he was listening to rap music, and when I got into the car, he switched it to Adele. But then he changed it again to Phil Collins, which means I give off vibes that say too white for Adele. I don't know what to do with that except maybe apologize. Thank you. That's my time.
Give it up to Rachel. We're gonna keep this moving on. Great job, Rachel, by the way, and your hair looks beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Coming up next is a woman who recently performed on the World Series of Comedy in Las Vegas, which is a tremendous thing to do. Please give it up for Miss Holly Johnston, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, everybody. It's been so much fun so far being part of this festival. I don't smoke weed. I do CBD, which is like getting a decaf coffee. Pretty lame. But I'm from the Boston area, and I grew up in the suburbs outside Boston. It's a pretty white area. Basically, if I heard gunshots in my neighborhood, I would immediately start running. Because that means the 5K is starting. I don't want to come in last. I had a good childhood growing up. And when you grow up believing that you're special, every job you have is a big disappointment. I was really excited to become a waitress, except I chose Cracker Barrel. If you're not familiar with it, it's a southern chain restaurant. Just picture an Applebee's with a Bible study.
Oh no.
Oh no. And I had to dress really conservatively at Cracker Barrel. You know, I had to wear a polo shirt buttoned all the way up to my chin, tucked into a pair of khakis, with these long socks to cover my ankles. And like, people like to say Cracker Barrel's racist, but really they didn't want to see skin of any color. To top it all off, I had to wear non-slip clogs and an apron with a big star on it. Yeah, my name tag said, "Hello, I'm unfuckable." But judging from how tight the shirt was buttoned around my neck, at least they knew I could handle being choked. And trust me, I know that's a lot coming from someone who looks like they sell Thin Mints outside of a Stop and Shop. And they don't even serve alcohol at Cracker Barrel. Like, you try flirting with a guy to get him to buy another round of cream soda. At least if he was drunk, he wouldn't notice that I was dressed like an Amish golf coach. So now I work remotely, and the only thing I've really learned from working remotely is that I never want to return to the office. And there's a lot of reasons I don't want to return to the office, mainly break room conversation. Because it was just always about cats. And I don't know about you guys, but I've never heard a cat story and had follow-up questions. My coworker's like, "You're not gonna believe where I found persnickety last night." Like, "Deborah, you live in a one-bedroom apartment." Be sure I can guess. I'm also just not very good at my job. I'm a Gen Z. I was the Gen Z that Bethany was referring to. And I'm not good at my job. I do data entry and spreadsheets, and I have no attention span. Like, I had to put on a podcast the other day just to get myself to empty the dishwasher. And I know my generation sucks. I'm very aware of it. And the reason I know that is because I lived in a house with 5 girls my own age. And that felt like I was living with seagulls. Because they would steal my food, and the second I turned my back, gang up and shit on me. And similar to seagulls, my roommates could also get taken out by one seltzer. I had this one roommate, let's just call her Tarjay. Yeah, she thought she was better than me, but her laugh sounded like someone stepping on an old floorboard. And she would say things like, "I just have this way of repelling negative vibes and toxic energy." But I didn't know she was referring to my Venmo requests for gas and electric. Thank you, Holly, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on this festival.
All right.
Holly Johnston, let her hear it, ladies and gentlemen. I keep saying ladies and gentlemen, but I don't mean it, but let her hear it. And you have nice hair too.
Yeah.
Great set, Holly. Okay, let's keep it going. We have from Toronto, she performed all over Canada, and she says sorry a lot, and she runs an open mic every Wednesday. Please welcome Janice Israeloff. Janice. Israeloff.
Oh, how are you all? Yeah, I'm all jealous of you people doing live comedy in Toronto. Are you kidding me? We're in lockdown again. Okay, 5 times we're in lockdown. Open, close, open, close. It's like my legs in high school. Oh my God, I'm telling you, I'm so friggin' exhausted. Been quarantining here, off and on. Yeah, with my husband of 35 years. And yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Sex after 35 years. It has a spiritual feel to it now. You know, like when it happens, it's a miracle. As far as my husband's concerned, you know, it's praise Jesus, you know, but there will be no second coming. Rise again. No, we went to Niagara Falls for my wedding anniversary, and yeah, it was nice, you know. It was a disaster. Okay. We go into these big rooms, you know, with a window and everything. And okay, we spent the whole weekend watching a disgusting old couple having sex. Yeah, that's the last time they book a hotel room with mirrors on the ceiling. Anyways, I'll tell you though, I'm getting we still have pillow talk, you know, it's adorable. The first person that gets Alzheimer, the other one smothers them with a pillow. Killing you, COVID's killing me, man. But I learned to actually comedy. I started doing comedy just to torture my adult children, you know, because I like to, you know, if I want to clear the living room out when they come over, I just put on a set and talk about fucking their dad. Now, you know, if they attend Zoom shows, I like to just like spotlight my daughter after I make a blowjob joke. Green, no filter. She just turns green. It's all natural. Yeah, so I learned all about porn through comedy, you know, all the things like tossed salads and cream pies, you know, buttering truffles. It's kind of like a different Uber Eats app. You know, I don't mind though, and squirting, I could get behind that, you know, because you don't want to get in front of it. I just think that's so funny. But what the fuck is up with squirting? I have 3 kids, I squirt when I cough. So, you know, I get all these beauty ads, like now that I'm over 50, 51, 52, you just guess, you just do the math, right? And, you know, on Facebook, it's like, how do you stop the effects of aging? You know how you stop the effects of aging? Suicide. Through the pandemic, I worked in a long-term care facility. I did get vaccinated a couple months ago. I was hoping it was going to change my DNA and make me funnier. I'm still waiting, but you never know. I love the mask, right? Right? Fucking mask. I could wear this mask forever. I'm saving so much on filler. I look 25. Okay, I look 25. You ladies over 40, over 50, you don't think guys hit on you? Go get a job in a nursing home. I swear to God. 95-year-old guys, they think I'm 25, you know, with my blonde hair and the mask. And I can get a guy to eat his mushy peas just by, you know, fake smile. I love the Gen Zs. I love your generation. You get diagnosed with everything. It's fucking amazing. In my generation, boomers, we didn't get diagnosed with anything. We just got beaten and, you know, go in the corner, right? It's fantastic. But my generation, boomers, we're smart. We're smart people. Not because we're smarter. It's just all the dumb ones got killed off on a dangerous playground equipment. Generations just die when they eat a peanut butter sandwich. You know, you got to carry an EpiPen. I started timing myself late, so my time is up. I don't like to say that, you know, pushing 60, but I think my time is up now. Janice Israeloff.
All right, give it up to Janice, everybody. Janice.
Hey, Janice.
Right on. We're gonna keep this moving along. This next lady coming up, very funny. She's had her own dry bar comedy special, which is hard to do one of those comedy specials, all clean material. So I think it's amazing. Please give it up for Miss Jasmine Ellis, everybody. Come on.
Hey, Jasmine.
It's so funny. She just introduced me as being clean, and now I feel obligated to talk about my booty.
No.
It's just the first place we gotta go. I'm kidding. I don't really have anything in particular about my asshole, but I mean, just the generals. You know, it's gone with me a lot of places. You know, it's part of my story, but I don't think it's the whole thing. Oh my gosh. So excited to be vaccinated and just celebrate it. I mean, I'm only a week out, but I got my my second round last week. And here's the thing, this is not a joke. It's just something that happened to me, but I think every woman watching this should know because they don't really tell you this. One of the side effects is that it enlarges the lymph nodes under your armpits.
Yes.
A very fancy way to say that you will wake up with an extra titty. And that's something. That is something that should have been presented to me up front. Like I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I was like, it kind of looks like the regular ones tried to adopt an extra. Like, no, all right? I want it gone in 48 hours and it's gone. But it was pretty weird. It was kind of funny too, because in California, they finally just rolled it out where anyone over 16 can get it. But I felt kind of guilty because I got my first round kind of early because of, it's not really a loophole. I'm just fat. Like that's a fact. I found out that I was medically fat. And I looked at the situation because I was like, I'm curious, you know, I'm not a thin person, but you know, I'm not the smallest person, which is also such a fucking ego trip. It is such an ego to be a little fat. It's so strange. But like pre-pandemic, I could shop at the plus size stores, but I was always the smallest size. You know how that goes to your ego when you walk in? I'm a 0. I could have gone to Macy's, but here I am. You know, like that's not. And now I'm a 1. You know, I gained a little weight in the pandemic, and now you know I'm just a regular big girl, and I'm okay with that. But it kind of brought me down to life when I realized I was, according to my BMI, my body mass index, I'm obese. And I was looking into this. I was like, wait, how does that work? Okay. The body mass index was a formula created in the 1600s by one Dutch doctor. He looked at 100 men's bodies, lined them up, compared the height and weight, and decided this is the formula that will work forever for everybody for all time. And if you kept up, I said a Dutch doctor. That means it was one blonde ass country. 100 men, people of non-titty, non-hip, and he just like, as a person of titty, I find this offensive. Your erasure is offensive. So you know what? I didn't care. I was like, I am going to get my vaccine early. It's about time. Racism and sexism and fat phobia worked for me. Okay. I'm going to live, and I'm too deep on my Moderna. I feel like at like a club, like, you know, like Moderna clique. What's up? I'm very proud to be Moderna clique. I didn't get to pick, but I'm kind of glad. It was, I don't know, if we ever like have actual parties separating the different vaccinated folks, I'm gonna be honest, I would rather hang out with Johnson & Johnson than Pfizer. I would. Like, okay. Johnson has had a couple bumps in the road, but like as a company, they have a pretty consistent thing, which is like selling low-priced poison. They've been the same thing from the beginning. Pfizer scares the hell out of me because Pfizer is the organization that said, you know what? Maybe God is wrong. Maybe dicks shouldn't die. I don't trust it. You know what I mean? They know too much. I don't trust Pfizer, but Moderna is great. I think it is so far. I haven't grown any extra limbs except for the titties that went away. To be like good, getting back on the road, performing live again, but I'm still going to do some more Zoom stuff. I mostly do colleges, and colleges have been interesting because Gen Z, we need to talk about Gen Z. I love them to death, but they're a little too into mental health. I think there's like a certain, like somewhere along the way, astrology and mental health kind of became like the same thing. And so now meet someone, they're like, oh my God, I am a Wellbutrin rising. Like a little bit of Prozac in my moon. You know, like they're very so open to talking about mental health. I can just like, it's really weird. Like I do the college shows and I do like 30 minutes of jokes, like straight, just joke. Sometimes it's weird, sometimes it works. And at the end, I do Q&A. And I was hoping these kids would be like, how do I get into comedy? How do I start this? No, you know what they like to ask me? They go, so you talked about being a middle child and your mom not being proud of you. Do you think you've dealt with that? What? What in the therapy? What is wrong with y'all? Well, I didn't sign up for that. That's not what we do here. I did get a real therapist recently. But As a Black woman, it was important to me that I found someone I felt like I could relate to. So I went to this website called Therapy for Black Girls, and I found a really great therapist. And I was talking to her about how sometimes my anxiety sends me really negative messages, and it tells me that, you know, everyone's judging me and they're never going to forgive me if I do anything wrong. And I was like, and in meetings, when I'm trying to communicate my ideas, I just feel like I don't deserve to be there. And she was like, maybe you need to disassociate, like create another persona that does the meeting for you. Still be you. But she goes, you know what? Maybe you need a Sasha Fierce. And I was like, you speak Beyonce? Damn, you're worth every penny. You're worth, I don't give a fuck about a copay anymore. Let's talk about how Lemonade affected me profoundly. Let's do this. I'm a firm believer that I think healthcare should be free. I think healthcare in the United States should be free. My only problem, though, is sometimes I get scared that once healthcare is free, we're not going to have as many good motivational songs, and that makes me sad. You know, like there's just, I feel like we have the best songs about, you know, the eye of the tiger and it's the final countdown. You know, like that kind of energy that only comes from a person who knows that a sprained ankle could bankrupt them for life. There's you know what I mean? I want it like listen, like, okay, countries with free healthcare. Canada doesn't have these kind of albums, you know, these kind of anthems. Like, what's the most famous Canadian song you can think of? For me, it's Ironic. All right. A day that Alanis Morissette was kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I had to wait 5 minutes at the doctor. Isn't it ironic? You know, like that. You know, she's never sung Living on a Prayer in Uber to the hospital. And I know that. I know that. An American experience. We need these anthems. So what's the music going to be like when nobody has to die getting stitches? You know, it concerns me. Another thing I'm worried about is I don't know how to dress. I just moved to LA in October, and I feel like I do not know how to dress anymore because I'm from Texas. So they always say, you know, it's better to be overdressed than overlooked. And did you know both can happen to you? Yeah, you can just and nobody talks to you. It's fun. Like, it's weird because like really hot people here dress really casual, like just to flex that they're so hot it doesn't matter that they look like shit. You know what I'm talking about? But then it's like $500 and it says Supreme and the sunglasses. I don't get it. It's not fancy, but it's super expensive. I've been trying to figure out the athleisure look, and I was like at a store and this girl was helping me, and I was like, I feel like this just doesn't fit me right. And she goes, well, what I like to do is I kind of tuck it under my abs. And then I was like, oh, it's with abs? I didn't know that. Let me call up Ivy Park and see if Beyonce was supposed to send me an ass too. Okay, that's got to be the problem, because that's got to be it. It can't be that I'm just a millennial that only knows how to wear jeans and a cute top. That can't be the problem. The decision to move here was for me, it was an easy one. I was ready. I wanted to go, but I keep getting people being like, why would you move from Texas? It's so much cheaper to live there. But I made my choice. I'm really happy. And honestly, you know, I felt like in the middle of the summer, it was this weird time where it just seemed like everybody thought Black people mattered. And I was like, okay, give me a job. So, let's go. That was, it's been interesting, kind of heavy. You know, there's so much going on in the news, and it's weird because I'm a very palatable Black person. Like, white women feel very comfortable talking to me. So now all these, it's the round face, but now all these white people like that I barely are emailing me, and they're like, I just want to make sure you're okay. You know, I'm paying attention to the news and I'm seeing stuff. Are you okay? And I'm like, you know what? My sciatica is really acting up. Like, they don't care about that. Apparently they wanted specific Black issues and not Jasmine issues. It's fine. It's fine. As a couple, it was really important that we supported, my husband and I, it was really important that we supported as many organizations as we could. We went to a couple protests, we gave some bail funds. And you know what? For an interracial couple, it's really important that we work towards racial justice, we work towards equality. And as a Black woman, it's really important that it came out of his account. I made the right choice. There's a guilt index that he pays directly. My husband is the best person in the world. I just want to tell you guys something. I'm really proud of him. I'm so proud of him. He is in the process of writing a horror novel. Horror, I have a hard time with that word. And got part of it published on this really cool podcast for people who love scary stories. And he's so good. He's so creative and he's so good at this. And I'm so proud of him. But there's another piece of me that's like, should I be scared? You know what I mean? Like, my husband is a white man who likes murder. Those are two facts. No, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Maybe memorize my face. I don't know. You know, but there's got to be like a support group. Like if somebody could get me in contact with like Stephen King's wife, you know, because I need to know what it was like for her when she was like, oh, babe, I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, this clown that eats children. This is good. You know, like, my time. I'm Jasmine Ellis. Thanks for having me. Have a fantastic
Jasmine Ellis. Great set. And watch out if she goes missing. We better send somebody after her husband. That was a great set, really good set. Okay, so now it's a pleasure to bring up voted Miami New Times Best Comedian of 2020. Yeah, and it's Anastasia Pavlinskaya. I had it. Pavlinskaya.
Yes.
Okay, Anastasia Pavlinskaya. Let her hear it. Have fun.
Thank you so much. Don't worry. Pretty much every major event in my life has been ruined because people butchered my name, but this is not one of them. So we're totally good. But thank you so much for having me, Joli, the Rampantly people. It's nice to do some Zoom comedy. I live in Florida, so I've been playing with God for the past couple months. I've been doing live shows, but I love Zoom. Something that happened though during my time doing Zoom comedy, especially during the pandemic, especially being a Florida woman, is that my alcoholism got a lot worse. So now I'm sober because I kind of just had to do it. I kind of had to. Like one too many like solo wine nights where I puked. I was like, not a good look. But you know what? The thing is, like, I'd say that, but like, I love alcohol. Like, I really do. But it's too friendly. Like, we can't have me in alcohol and social situations, especially now. Like, everything's reopening. I'm gonna like eventually start going out. It's problematic because I remember, like, when I was in college, I would get wasted. I'd go to the bathroom. Like next morning, I find out like I joined a sorority. Okay, cool. But like nowadays, it's like I go out, get drunk, meet people in the bathroom. Next morning, I'm selling Herbalife. Basically the same thing, though. Multi-level marketing and Greek life. Same exact thing, because first of all, there's a buy-in. You all take pictures together to try to like make it look like you're having a great time. Everyone's really skinny. They have good hair. It's all the same filter. And basically the entire time they're just trying to convince themselves that it's worth it. The only difference is like multi-level marketing, you actually make some money. So just develop an alcohol problem. So it's fun. In losing my alcohol habit, I have lost some weight, which has been pretty nice. I lost 10 pounds, which was I'm not going to talk to you about my weight loss journey because there's nothing more annoying than someone talking about themselves losing weight. It's horrible. I mean, okay. Some people have inspirational stories where they're like, oh, like I was going to have like double bypass surgery because I was just so overweight, and then I did it. I finally beat it. Like for me, it's not an inspirational story. It's just like, oh, I want to lose weight so I can wear jackets and not feel self-conscious about my arms. And it wasn't even like I didn't do anything that great. It's basically like my story is that I switched from MyFitnessPal to Weight Watchers because I was too dumb to calculate my macros. It's like the one time where I feel like if there was like a little gremlin of a teacher that like came out of my MyFitnessPal, it'd be like, I told you you would need math one day. And I'm like, oh, I was not good at math. So it's a little torturous. One number that I do enjoy is 420. We love 420. I've been a big avid fan of 420 for many years. My friends, a couple of years ago, we got together. We had a very nice day by the pool. We hung out. A couple of years later, I celebrated by just smoking in my car in my parents' driveway. And this year I did it the adult way. I did 420 the adult way. I took an edible and just pretended to work from home, basically. That's basically the thing. But I'll leave y'all with this. I'm 26 years old, and basically you'll always hear, like, with women comics especially, everyone has like a joke about either I'm not ready for kids, I had kids, whatever. It's a thing. It's a very big part of being a woman that is always talked about. But I don't think I'm ready for kids because I have a lot of friends who have kids and they're stupid. Kids, topical things like Archie after the royal baby, Cardi B after that WAP, or COVID-19. Yeah. I think COVID-19 is a great name for a baby because just like COVID-19 babies, their smiles are infectious. And just like COVID-19, if I thought I was about to have a baby, I'd probably try to get rid of it immediately. Okay, that's my time. Thank you. Anastasia Pavlinskaya.
All right. Great job, Anastasia. I'm going to keep this train going. Please welcome to the Zoom stage a lady here who's out of DC, and she's a host on one of Rampantly shows called Chalk Talk. Please give it up for Val Paschall.
All right. Hey. Woo. I love it. You like low key said it the right way the second time, but you everybody wants to make my name rhyme with itself. It's fine. And you know what? Close enough. People have been getting my name wrong for a long time too, and it's Paschall, which you think would be easy, but it's not anybody else's fault that my ancestors were apparently Mayflower era hipsters. Just decided it would be cool to put letters where they don't belong. Oh, I'll put another L at the end. Let's give it some gravitas. Put a H in the middle, it'll look fancy on the parchment. Well, yes, as Felicia said, I'm here out of DC, which means life's been going great. But Bethany made a good point early on in her set. Remember Bethany's set and how awesome it was? And she talked about downloading one of those apps. And I also found a need to center myself with all the chaos going around me, which is why I decided to calm myself down by watching every Saw movie. Followed up by some nice soothing episodes of Black Mirror. Oh, for the simpler days when our politicians were just fucking pigs. But January 6th was particularly difficult for me because my girlfriend works in the news. Hooray! And so they knew something was going to be up and set her up in a hotel by her job. A hotel where, as it turns out, a lot of the insurrectionists were staying.
Oh.
Well done, news. You fuckers. Oh, but it gets better. I got a phone call in the middle of the afternoon from my sister, who's like governmenty and important, saying that she had to drive to the Capitol. Actually, she was getting driven there by armed guards so that she could deal with the bullshit. Every Saw film, all of them. Needed to calm down. But I will say it actually did my soul some good knowing that these terrorists were dealing with somebody as ruthless and vindictive as my sister. I feel like I should explain my sister. She's 3 years younger than me. And when she was 2 and I was 5, she used to pull my hair, get me to say whatever bad word it is you say at age 5. And then as soon as I did that and our parents came into the room, she'd start crying. And I'd get in trouble. She is still that 2-year-old, guys. Oh, let's not get it twisted. My sister is a raging bitch. She has just learned how to monetize it. But you may notice how pale I am, and I'm sure they did too, the insurrectionists there, and probably saw her and were like, hooray, a white lady. Historically, this goes well for us. No, she is the liberal elite you hate. She gets paid to not like you, and she has 2 espresso machines. So yes, important governmenty person and I did come from the same family, and I think that means that I'm just proof that you can pour a whole lot of money into a project and it's not guaranteed to succeed. I'm basically the New York Jets of my family. You know, I'm so glad that that went well. Like on women's shows and gay shows, which are the shows I'm on the most, I'm like, should I tell the sports jokes? But I also got my vaccine. Pfizer fam here, what up? And I was very excited. I'm like, ooh, where am I going to travel when I first get my vaccine? Maybe I'll go to California, hang out with some of the Rampantly people out there. Maybe I'll go, you know what? Let's think big. I'm going to Tokyo. Let's go to Tokyo. And the first place I'm going now that I've got my vaccine, I'll be 2 weeks out next week, is my parents' house. Because, you know, comedy's been going too well. I really just need to take myself down a couple pegs. Also, I've missed my dad. I need to catch up into what cat memes he's into. Oh yeah, no. For him, that is an in-person event. Oh yeah, because the way my dad shares cat memes is that he prints them out. And then he puts them on the fridge. right next to the ancient aliens memes. I think my dad felt bad for me, so he actually did email me some cat memes over Christmas, cats and Christmas trees, which I think makes me the only person in the history of the internet to receive a cat meme in the form of a Word document. And that'll be it for me. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Ooh, Valerie Paschall. That's Valerie Paschall, ladies and gentlemen. Good set, very funny, and you took a chance on the sports stuff in this mixed room.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, let's keep it rolling. She's based in Toronto, featured on the breakfast television, and performed in clubs all over Ontario. It's Desiree Walsh. Yay!
Oh, there. Hi. I was just waiting for you to spotlight me. That's true. I am Canadian. Yeah. There's no joke there. It's more of a humble brag at this point. But you guys are beating us at the vaccines. Yeah. That's so good for you. That's a little bit tough for me as a Canadian that America is beating us at a healthcare issue. But we're working through it. They've set up a lovely virtual support group for us on Mondays. So yeah. I've been doing a lot of mics with Americans, and I actually really like it because I'm learning so much about your country. You guys have more tasty snacks than I've ever seen in my entire life. You are the inventors of Fruit Loops donuts, and I think that's quite commendable. But I do find it rather gaslighting that a country with so many tasty snacks does not have universal health care. The story should be like, have another Baconator. We'll take care of you. Not look out for little Debbie. She'll kill you. And one of the things I find particularly appalling, it was hard to pick just one, is you don't have insurance. It's $3,400 American to get an ambulance to come to your house in the US. Canada's dollar is low, and it's funny. And I find this particularly fascinating because in Ontario, which is the province I live in, province is Canadian for state. In about 1990, they decided to charge people $45 for an ambulance. Yeah. And people were livid that the government would have the audacity to charge its people $45 for health care. And in fact, when I was little, I remember I got injured and my mom was like, oh no, I think we need an ambulance. And my dad was like, no, put her in the back of the car. I'll be damned if I'm paying $45 for a child to go to the hospital. I have this funeral sticker. It'll be fine. I'll drive real fast. Don't ask me how I got it. Yeah. To be fair to my dad, the family rule was if you can still breathe and talk, you do not need an ambulance. So, like, shame on me for not passing out cold. The other thing I find fascinating about your healthcare system is if you have a baby, best case scenario, it's gonna run you $10,000. Like, that's not to raise the baby, that's to physically extract it out of your body or your partner's body. And like, I don't think this is fair, America. Like, having kids is bad enough. Why do we have to saddle new parents with debt? Yeah. And I don't think it's fair. And actually, I'm I'm a twin and we were born 2 months premature. And when we were little, because our parents are psychopaths, they used to tell us, like, it's a good thing we're not American because your birth would have bankrupted us. You spent like 6 months in the hospital. Like, Jesus. And so I asked my mom when I was little, like, what do parents in America do who have twins? And she looked at me deadpanned and said, if they can't afford to pay the bill, they stay in the hospital forever. So like for most of my life, I just thought all American hospitals were like that hallway scene in The Shining, like with children. Yeah, and it actually wasn't till I went to, I use a wheelchair too. I should have said that at the top of the set, but it wasn't till I went to a wheelchair basketball tournament in like Whitewater, Wisconsin, and actually met other disabled twins that I found out my mom was actually full of shit. Thank you. I've been Desiree Walsh. Thank you, Rampantly. Yay!
Great job, Desiree. Wonderful, wonderful. We're keeping it going. Right now, I'm going to bring up a lady who's the founding member of the No Lie Comedy Show, and she hosts a weekly, is it a comedy show or a podcast?
Oh, it's an open mic.
Oh, okay. The No Lie Comedy Open Mic, and she hosts a weekly mic in New Orleans called The Big Uneasy. I hope I got it all right. If I didn't, you'll tell us. Please give it up for the very wonderful Nkechi Chibueze.
Hi, everyone.
Yay.
Good to see you guys. Yay. Okay, sorry. It's the No Lie Comedy Collective, and it's the Big Uneasy Open Mic. So, yeah. Good. Anyway, hi, everyone. I am I'm so excited to be here. Like, I really would like to get intimate with you guys, you know, if it's okay. Because, you know, it's late at night and, you know, this edible, it's lasted way too long. But okay, I have a confession to make. I am 38 years old and a virgin, and I feel like this is where you clap. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I know, like most people, when they hear that, they're just like, oh my God, you're just so dedicated. I did not do this on purpose, you know. Yeah, the virgin life, it chose me. I did not choose it. The reason why I've been chaste for so long is because, you know, at birth, I contracted a life debilitating condition. That condition being SAP, strict African parents. You know, my parents are so strict for the longest time. I thought it was illegal to date unless you had a PhD. Okay, I got one more. My parents are so strict.
How strict are they?
I wanted to do that. But like last Christmas, I tried to pour myself a glass of wine, and my mom, she knocked it out of my hand and she said, "No, you're not ready." And then, and my response to her was, "You're absolutely correct. I am so sorry." But you know, like navigating this world with a V card can sometimes be awkward. Like, for example, there was this one day I was at work and my coworker, she was freaking out because the night before, okay, her boyfriend had promised to pull out, but instead he stayed in there, he got comfortable, and he made a big old mess. And she was talking to me about the situation, like she was telling me like I cared. And I had to stop her. I had to be like, hey, listen, I can't help you. First of all, I can't help you because I don't date assholes. Yeah. Because I don't date. And secondly, I can't help you because, you know, I've never had sex, so I don't know what it feels like to have someone shoot my club up. And it was at that moment, she looked at me with so much disgust. She was like, ah. It was like almost like I I destroyed her vagina by keeping mine closed. You know what I mean? It was me. But like, she's a hater and she's messy. So she told my boss. So the next day, my boss comes up to me and decides she's going to have a heart-to-heart. She's like, yeah. What you're doing is a beautiful thing. Saving yourself is a beautiful thing. You shouldn't be ashamed. I was like, I'm not ashamed. And she ignored me. She was like, yeah. I knew a virgin once. She's dead. And then I was like, oh my God. Wait, hold up. Virgins die? I need to have a conversation with my mother. But then she was like, no. How are you this? Because her funeral, because she was a virgin, she had the most beautiful funeral because it was all white. Like she had white doves, white flowers, white tablecloths. She was dressed in white from head to toe. And you can do the same thing too. So I was like, wait, what are you trying to tell me? Is like the perk of being a virgin is that I get to wear white to my funeral? I can think of a better perk. Anytime I get a bump in my lady parts, I'm 100% confident it's an ingrown hair. Yeah. Which one of you hosts can say the same? Oh, that was really rude. But anyway, I gotta say, like, I was close. Like, this is one guy, like, I had met, and I figured I was gonna give him everything, you know, like all my cookies, like my muffin, like the whole goddamn bakery. I was gonna give it to him all. But sorry, like, you guys, it's really sad because, like, he said something that was like so sadistic and so horrible that as a person that, you know, champions herself on human rights and decency, like, I couldn't let the hate speech go by, you know? Sorry. He said he liked NSYNC better than the Backstreet Boys. I was like, how dare you? Like, how dare you uplift the mediocrity that is NSYNC only to downgrade the legacy that is the Backstreet? And he was like, I don't know, they're better dancers. And I was like, well, since you like NSYNC so much, I'm gonna let you be in sync. I'm gonna be Justin Timberlake. Why together we make amazing music as a group and we're popping. Everybody knows that JT is better off solo. Yeah. So I'm leaving you. Bye. My name is Keshi.
Keshi, that was Keshi. It's your boys. Yay. Okay, so next, coming up on our Zoom stage, she was in MTV's Girl Code and on Comedy Central. It's Chanel Ali. Chanel.
All right. Yeah. Woo. Hey guys. Oh man, I really like waving virtually. So if you feel like waving back at me, get in on it. Oh, gosh. You guys are crazy. Thank you so much for being here. Can you believe this is what comedy has become? Now my friends have to come up with wild excuses for why they can't make it to my shows. Even this show tonight, I invited my aunt. She said she wanted to come. Sent her the link 10 minutes ago. She texted me, said, I'm not going to make it. I can't find my charger. And that's it. Then we have to go try to do our dreams, but it's so good to be here. I'm Chanel. You might have seen me on MTV's Girl Code, on True TV's Laugh Tracks, on Comedy Central, but right now you are getting me live from my boyfriend's parents' basement. Yeah. Well, but also staying low, if you know what I mean. Quarantined in this house for over a year now, but get this, we're quarantined in my boyfriend's parents' house, but his parents are quarantined in Jamaica. It's like we won the quarantine game, you know? according to every episode of Forensic Files that I've seen, to inherit a property like this without blood on my hands is an anomaly. Where are the... But I had to get out of New York City a year ago because I'm one of those people that carries an inhaler every day. Some people like to call it asthmatic. I like to call it gangsta. No? I take thug puffs, if you will. But I had to get out of New York City because in Brooklyn, a lot of hipsters a year ago, they weren't really taking it seriously, you know? I'd look out the window, see people out at parks holding hands, acting like they were in love. It was sick. It really got me thinking about the government. It really got me thinking about chemical warfare. Like, why don't we have some sophisticated nap bomb that we could throw on a crowded park of hipsters, and then boom, everybody takes a nap. Individual bodies, scoop them up, drive them back home, tuck them in their beds, says, don't fucking leave this house again. Why not? Oh, and here's another scenario. We drop a nap bomb. Boom, everybody naps. We drive around to the individual bodies. We tie their shoes together. We leave. All right. I can feel that I lost some of y'all on that second example. You guys are just tax-paying citizens. You care about your tax dollars. I'm going to keep it honest with you guys. This is the point in my set where I start to get a little uncomfortable with my hands being free. This is brand new. I'm not really used to it. Usually when comedy in a comedy club, I have like a microphone and a mic stand and a drink and a cute bartender by the neck, just whatever I need, you know? So this is the point of my set where I'm going to casually reach off screen and then come back with a vintage microphone. And then I'm just not really going to address it anymore. I feel comfortable, guys. I want to let you know that I'm biracial. I'm a biracial person, which is funny to me every time I say it because I feel pretty black. You know? Very black every day when I wake up and leave my house. But growing up, I didn't know I was biracial. I had no idea I was biracial until I was in junior high. A girl ran up to me at school, very out of breath, like, Chanel, I saw you last night at Target with this old white lady, and she was buying you a bra. What is going on? And I was like, whoa, Chelsea, that don't even sound like me. You know, I was worried about my reputation. Then I thought about it and I was like, I was at Target last night, but I was there with my grandmother and she's not a white. So then I went home and I walked up to my grandmother that day, bold as brass. I pointed in her face and I said, hey, are you white? Who looked at you and she saw a white lady, and now I'm looking at you and I'm starting to see a white lady too. And she said, oh, I'm white. What did you think I was? And I said, I never thought about it before. I knew that I was black because of BET. So I just assumed by association my grandmother was probably black too. Like I knew she wasn't very dark skinned and she didn't really do so well on beach days, but I just thought, you know, we all got our shit. She said, no, I'm 100% Italian, which means you are part Italian. She told me that her parents came to this country from Italy. She pulled out a picture frame, showed me two very nice looking white people. I said, holy shit, my whole life I thought that was a brand new frame. Wait, feel it. Everything is a lie. Like, yeah, I thought my grandmother was a little lazy. I didn't know she was white. And sometimes when I tell that joke, people don't believe me. They're like, how could you have been 13 years old and you didn't know your grandmother was white? Well, she had 3 oil paintings in her house. One was Malcolm X. One was Martin Luther King Jr. And one was a sexy black Jesus on the cross. You know how many pictures of Jesus there are? Do you know how many pictures of black Jesus there are? I don't know how she found a dread-headed Caribbean Jesus, but it affected me. I'm dating a Jamaican now, goddammit. Difficult to date as a comedian. It's very hard to do, especially being a woman. Because men, they get insecure. They get in their heads about it. Like, she's a comedian. What if I fuck up? My sex is whack. Maybe she'll go on Zoom, tell 29 people. Not again, you know? They think I would come out. It's crazy. It's like, it's a very abstract thought. It's an abstract thought because that would require all of us to exist in a world where having whack sex is kind of funny to me. That shit is not funny to me. Very big, you know, like I get it. I'm a comedian. I'm a silly lady. I joke a lot, but I am not out here fucking for punchlines. The timeline of whack sex anyway, you know, like how many minutes in before I'm like, this guy's hilarious. Somebody give him the light. We'll wrap this up. But I've been in New York. Well, I was in New York for like 4 years prior to this pandemic. I had a good run in New York. I did a couple TV shows, and right before the pandemic, I was opening up for Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. It was so lit. Ooh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for my work. But Michael Che first hit me up on Facebook. Can you imagine what that felt like? To be high as hell and get a Facebook message from Michael Che with a picture of Michael Che. I was sitting in my room like, damn. My career is blowing up. Would you look at this? Would you look at this? I'm getting catfish now. Then I was like, am I getting catfished by fake Michael Che? Because that's oddly and mean, right? Like, pretend to be a little Bow Wow. Say you're gonna send me some money. You can't about my feelings. Don't dangle my dreams in front of me, you know? So I just did like he asked. I just sent him my social security number. Because I want to make it. No, I've opened for Michael a few times. He's a very nice guy. Probably could drink a little less. I don't have a very good relationship with my dad. And I remember one time he called me, and that's the end of that joke. But I remember one time my dad called me and he was like, Chanel, I know you asked for help with your student loans last month. And I said that I would, but I didn't. And I forgot to tell you that I didn't. So they're looking for you. And I was like, great, Daddy. You know, I hung up the phone. 5 steps filling the lowest of low. I looked at my phone again. It was ringing again. And it was Michael Che. And he was like, Chanel, I know this is last minute, but can you open for me tonight? I'll pay you $1,000. And I was like, my God, you know, you don't know what this means to me, you know, especially right now. I get to the show that night and he's like, Chanel, I fucked up. I need you to do more time than I thought. But don't worry, I'm going to pay you double. That moment, that I had an epiphany about my whole life, about everything I had ever been through. And I was finally able to take a step back and recognize that Michael Che is my dad. A lot of people want to pick their daddies. I picked mine. It's Michael Che. and he does not get to fuck my mom. A loophole in the stepdaddy system. I appreciate y'all for going there with me. Pandemic, I went to Portland, Oregon, real cheap weed there. Suspiciously cheap, I'd say. I'm not really sure how they're making a profit, you know? I met a fancy barista when I was out there, as you do. I told him I was a comedian. He said, oh my God, my wife loves comedy. He said, I'm going to take her to your show. I'm going to take her to your show. And later on that night, he did. They Googled me. They bought tickets to my show. They're great audience members. Come on, that is so nice, right? Kind of weird, right? After the show, they bought me a few drinks, and I was like, so what's up? You guys trying to fuck me? Or like, what is this? They were like, no, oh no, we just like to support strangers. I was like, you fucking freaks. You guys are all messed up, you know? But I think that's just the New York City in me. That's how New York City has made me. Because if I'm in Manhattan and I tell a barista, hey, guess what? I'm a comedian. They are always like, yeah, me too, bitch. Yeah, 5 years in, what you want to drink, ho? And then I gotta take a step back, like, Stacey, baby, I thought we was cool. She's like, stop coming in during my shift. Like, I can afford that coffee without her, you know? I'm not sure if I got in the lights. So I'm gonna tell one more joke that's probably too long, but we're gonna do it. In the pandemic, I've been keeping it very chill in my household, watching a lot of natural disaster movies. Because in Black households, those are repurposed, and we just call them white people crazy movies. You know the ones I'm talking. I'm talking Dante's Peak. I'm talking all the movies with sharks. I'm talking Twister. You guys remember Twister?
Oh yeah.
It stars a young Helen Hunt. Very suspicious how they pull that shit off. The movie opens on Helen Hunt trapped in a cellar in Oklahoma. Tornado comes down, takes her dad away. Does he die? We don't know. Maybe he moves to tech company. We don't know. All we know is that the last moments are spent trying to close that cellar door. Camera zooms in. We see the cellar door is only one of those slidey metal bathroom stall locks. That's all he had to protect his family from tornadoes. Of course, he didn't come back. And then Helen Hunt grows up. She becomes an adult, and she's like, I'm gonna avenge my father. I'm gonna find the tornado that did it. And I'm gonna stab it. Which is not at all how tornadoes work, but in this movie, she's like a scientist. She's got a 401k. It's ridiculous. They trace the tornado. They use technology. They find out it's heading toward Helen Hunt's aunt's house, and that's personal for her. Every moment she realizes this must be the tornado that killed my daddy. My auntie, they race over to the auntie's house to try to save her. The auntie is a G. She's sitting on the porch eating pancakes with her bare hand already. She's like, I'm out. I have a dog. It barked. I knew a tornado was coming. Y'all need to calm down. So they listen to her. They take a night off. They go to the drive-in movie theater because I guess that's fun in Oklahoma. They get to the drive-in movie theater, and guess what happens? A tornado comes to the movie theater. Like the tornado intercepted the group chat. It just showed up like, hey, what y'all doing? Did nobody tell me we was taking the night off? Did nobody tell me that? That's just me being a tornado. You guys have been fun. I'm Chanel.
Wow, great job, Chanel. Very, very funny. We're gonna keep it moving on because that's how I'm built. Please give it up for a lady who has an open mic resource for women comics only. I love that.
Yes.
Deb Maar, everybody. Deb Maar.
Yes, yes.
That's not Deb Maar, but that's okay. There she is.
Yay!
Felicia with that really professional looking headshot in the graphic, and Jann Karam. And I just followed somebody who's on first name basis with Michael Che. Joli, why am I here? How did I apologize to the professionals here. I've really enjoyed watching you. And I might be the archetype, the symbol that things aren't going to go well for you for a little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm Loki for this context. Thank you, Joli. I do appreciate it. She's on a first name basis with Michael Che. Michael Che is never gonna offer me $1,000. I'm so impressed with you, Chanel. I can't see where you are. I'm so impressed. I was hoping that I felt like getting online during pandemic, this was going to be practice for me to eventually be on TV. And then it turned out everybody's on TV. It's called TikTok. Instagram stories doesn't mean anything anymore if I get on TV, because that's my timing. I couldn't do this sooner. I had to get to the right place in therapy, okay? Otherwise, this wasn't gonna work at all. And you could tell how well it's working now. I can't even get words out of my mouth. Okay, for the streaming audience, the Facebook streaming audience, I forgot. This is the set where it's time to go to the bathroom. This is the person who opened for Michael Che is done. I'm here. And like the person on Seinfeld, she's not right now. It's just me. And that's right. I was moisturizing just before coming on because I realized I was ashy. Okay. Do people want to know I've discovered cougar dating? Or because with that stimulus check, I'm bourgeois now. And is my audio coming through okay, or am I weird? I mean, I'm weird. And, okay, or I could talk about cougar dating, or this guy I'm dating, and he tried to go down on me for the first time. Oh, is that my light? What was that? Was that Joli, are you doing exercises?
I'm just rearranging the ring light so I can eat some Indian food.
Okay. Great. It'll shine right in the pupils of the Indian food. Okay. So if only sorry, I was trying to make a connection and I can't, between Indian food and my yoni. And attempting to eat, and he's really bad at sex, but he's not a flake. And I'm in San Francisco, and guys are really flaky here, the straight ones. And so this guy's available, right? Anyway, so he said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. The color drained out of his face. And he's a scientist. He's a biologist, and he doesn't know how sex works. And I think at one moment he was looking for his scuba mask. He was really intimidated. When I told the psychologist about it later, she's a butch lesbian, and she put her foot down and she said, you can't sleep with a man who is so inept at oral sex. Like, that's what the lesbian therapist does, is like the boundaries around it. And I told her it was her fault. This many years. Why am I attracted to somebody like that? It's not my parents anymore, it's you. I rethink that approach. Okay. And then we had a good laugh, and then I cried. But yeah, okay. But MILF Hunter on the Cougar dating site has sent me a message, and so there might be options. There just might be options. And I am that's my time, because I am.
Hey, you're not on camera, are you?
Where any light is.
No, you're not on camera or anything, are
Everybody's
you?
back from the toilet. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, now everyone, that was Deb Maar. Deb, I love your voice. You have such a great voice.
Thank you.
What was that about? You're not on camera or something? Was there something going on? Okay.
No, I thought maybe the sound.
No, there was a voice. There was a man's voice ruining our No Man. This is No Man's Land.
It was Richard, guys.
What was you saying? Bitches, what was she saying? Well, Deb, but I love your, honestly, you have a great sound to your voice, and nice.
That means so much, coming from a famous professional person.
Famous, yes. Woo! Okay, so next she has a recurring segment on ASY TV, Love on Lockdown. It's called, and it's Sandy Bernstein.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So yes, my name is Sandy Bernstein, and I am a proud member of the Barren Womb Club. Yes, I am childless by choice with no regrets. And yep. And I am also divorced, and when I remarried, I made an upgrade. This one's an older model, but he's low mileage, low maintenance, and burns a lot less gas. Oh, glad you like the fart joke. But speaking of old farts, I am 10 years younger, but I don't consider myself a trophy wife. I'm more of a geezer pleaser. But you know, at our age, 10 years is nothing. In fact, my husband's going to outlive me. He comes from good stock. Me, on the other hand, my family, I'll be lucky if I make it to 75, what with all the cancer, dementia, and matzo balls. I mean, neither of us has kids, so I worry who's going to take care of us in our golden years. So I asked my husband if he'd be willing to change my diaper. And he was like, I'll cut you loose in the backyard, and once a week I'll hose you down in the driveway. Like, guys, I am so fucked. So how are those New Year's resolutions coming, huh? Yeah, well, I made a resolution to get more sleep, but my husband resented the snoring during sex. His favorite comedian is Bill Cosby. I thought he'd be more receptive. Oh, wait, was that offensive? Oh, no. Speaking of offensive, does anybody here have a significant other who posts inappropriate pictures of them on social media? Anybody? Am I the only freak in here? I thought so. Well, no, my husband's been doing a lot of that, and people have started to leave negative comments. So I asked him to please stop posting pictures of me eating dessert. I mean, you know, nudes and sex videos would have been less embarrassing. And he was like, sweetheart, Why would I post videos of us having sex? That would be stupid. You look so much happier when you're eating. Well, screw him. Enough about him. Let's talk about me. I am a proud gym rat. Okay. But ever since COVID, I've been working out at home. And my cat sometimes attacks me. So either way, I'm getting shredded. Oh, guys, but I really miss the gym. I mean, it was the one place I felt powerful. I mean, I wasn't just another fit bitch. I was a gym rat goddess. I got to tell you, man, this working out at home just isn't working out. Okay. Like at the gym, I'd say, who do I have to blow around here to get a pair of dumbbells? And two dudes would appear with weights. At home, my husband answers, well, I don't have your weights, but I'll take the blow job. I mean, at the gym, like cute guys would fetch me towels and then they would spot me on the bench press while I looked up their shorts. At home, my husband throws me dirty t-shirts that the cat threw up on. So instead of hairy balls from hot hunks, I got hairballs from a puking pussy. And without treadmills, my speed training has gone to shit. Now, when I run outside, my 80-year-old neighbor laps me as she power walks in her orthopedic shoes. Okay, this is what happened last week, okay? She stopped me as I was running, okay? And she was like, would you like to borrow my wheelchair? I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm good, thanks. Well, then how about my oxygen tank, dear? So I also do yoga on Zoom, but my internet is even slower than I am, okay? Sometimes I'll be stuck in downward dog for a half hour before I realize the feed is frozen. And my husband, opportunity to be the upright dog. So now you can see why I can't wait to get back to the gym to regain my rightful place as a gym rat goddess. Anyway, hey guys, that's it for me. I'm Sandy Bernstein. You guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Yay, Sandy.
Hey. Wow, great job, Sandy Bernstein. Oh my God, you fucking said it all, lady. I mean, Jesus Christ. How do you follow that? I mean, I'd have to tell a joke about how I fucked my hairbrush at Burning Man after my divorce. I know. Fuck, I missed that brush. It was a terrible lay, but the only one I ever found that could tame my lopsided cowlick. Anyway, great job though, Sandy. So here goes. Coming up as next is a person who actually showed up. Please give it up for Mr. I don't know how to do his intro. Mr. Chip Ford, everybody. Chip Ford. Is he here? He was just here. Oh.
She.
I'm so sorry.
Chip is a woman.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I did not know. There you go.
Unmute, Chip. You're muted.
Unmute, Chip.
You're muted.
Yeah, that's my my way of standing against white privilege by naming myself Chip Ford. You guys think it's boom.
Well
played. Chip Black woman. How are you guys tonight? I'm so excited to be a part of the No Man's Land because I have no man. You know, I talk shit about Ohio and how no one decides to go to Ohio. They just end up here. Well, yeah, I ended up here because of a man, and technically he moved out of his own house, so I live in his spot by myself. So yeah, welcome to No Man's Land, Chip. He likes to brag that he took me skiing, and he was like, yeah, I took you skiing. I'm like, there was no picture, so technically it didn't happen. No man. So one of the things I have came across in like being in the house with no man and no job, is watching documentaries on Netflix. Do anybody get into the documentaries on Netflix?
Yep.
Yeah. So they get really intense. And by the way, it sucks because it's like, you know, you could be like a 60-year-old man on the beach sipping your mimosa. You got away with killing someone about 30 years ago, and boom, some college student decides they want to do a documentary about your murder. So now you're being fucking prosecuted. And it's just crazy. Like the funniest documentary I've seen, and it wasn't funny, it was really fucked up. It actually is the reason why I got off the internet in 2015, is Don't Fuck with Cats. Everybody's familiar with that. Yeah. So Don't Fuck with Cats is a documentary about people on the internet solving a fucking crime from their computers. And the only thing that I could think about was how much time did white people have before the pandemic? Because that definitely happened 10 years before the pandemic. And then the sad part about it is like the entire documentary was like led by a fucking Karen. And it just made me think about like, how did she get to that point? And so that, you know, I decided to say, hey man, there has to be an evolution of fucking Karens. Like it has to come from somewhere. Like you have to be trained, just like, you know, strippers and porn stars are trained through body shaming. Yeah, white women are trained through sex work, I guess. So, you know, they start off as a Christina, who's the angry dance mom's daughter who got upset that they didn't make the cut. And then you become the wild teenager Trish, who dates the fidget spinner rappers. Yeah, they're like emo kids who sells nickel bags in their yards. Yeah, I know, right? So then they decide like, fuck it, you know what? It's college time. I need an education. And you know what that means. They become the pro Beckies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pro Beckies give that good necky for better opportunities, right? But then, you know, by the time she gets out of college, she develops fucking chronic neck problems and back pain. So she decides that she has to go to her local stores and stand up for everyone's rights, because I mean, she's only standing up straight because her back hurts, and that's when she becomes the fucking Karen. Yeah. So in order to make the world better, she just self-sabotages by reporting you to the manager all the time. The other thing about being in no man's land is a lot of people assume that I have a sugar daddy, and I'm like, no, I don't. I had my real daddy. And the crazy thing is, like, people expect sugar daddies to be this like this ultimate man. I'm talking like, and if you're a Black girl, you're thinking like smooth like Leon, chocolate skin like Idris, you know, nice kind words like Drake. No, they're fucking disabled. They usually come missing with some vital body part, either an eyeball, a big dick, or fucking common sense. Yeah. I realized that I could not have a sugar daddy because I did date a guy who had a lot of money, and he just happened to have one fucking leg, you guys. And I realized that's when I had to go to therapy, because he upset me. He kept telling me I didn't like him, and I'm like, bruh, like, I live in PG County, Maryland. You're 45 minutes away. I have to like you to drive here, right? So like I had to like, you know, decide like, you know what, the only way I can get out of this is just not talk to him anymore, because the last time he upset me, the only thing that could go through my mind was taking his leg just to prove to him that I liked him, because it was his driving leg and I would have to drive it all the way back for him to get it. Yeah. So I'm chip for it, and that's all I got for you.
You my on oh. Great set, and so adorable and very funny. And where's that guy without the leg? Did he get his leg back?
I never took it. I just decided to we went for crab legs, and I had my sister do an emergency phone call. I haven't seen him since. So
where's the leg? Your sister took it to him? No.
Apparently he you know, he still has it. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, okay. So he got it back.
You're
I
on
never
interrogation,
I got out of
Jann.
I couldn't.
That's crazy though. That's nice that, you know, hey, sorry it didn't work out. But
I didn't want to keep having a leg up on him, you know. So
yeah, that's a good one. Add that in there. So I think closing out the show, right? Is that right? Is this
Yes,
right?
let's do
Our
it.
last
Let's do
comedian
it.
for the night?
Well,
that
for this show, but then they're going to,
Oh,
people are waiting to go up, but this is, Susan is going to
Okay.
be the last person
Can
for
I-
this.
Okay,
part.
so for
If I say
Saturday.
a thing right- do you mind if I say just a little thing right before the last comic?
Yes.
Do you mind folks
You're
in
the
the room what's going
producer.
on?
Great job to the producers, everybody.
Yeah, Richard
Richard and
yeah,
Joli.
let's give it up for Jan and for Felicia.
Yay!
Seriously, I think I'm generation I'm a millennial, right? Is that Gen Y?
Yeah, we're millennials.
Yeah.
Joli.
Either way, like I remember, they both look familiar to me, but I had to look up and see what all the credits were. These two ladies are legendary.
Yes.
And we are
That's
so
right.
grateful that they're here today. I'm still
Great
looking
hair.
There's thank you so much for coming. This has been
It's our pleasure to be here, right,
Thank you,
Felicia?
guys.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
I owe both of you wine.
Aha, yeah.
Yes,
Well,
you
so
do.
Yes, Richard, we want
Yes.
some of your wine.
From the storage unit, not in your fucking
Exactly.
Oh, stuff in the storage. Yeah, the good shit.